Welcome to this explainer. Okay, today we are heading to the absolute edge of the world. I'm talking about Magerøya and the truly magnificent North Cape, or Nordkapp as it's known in Norway. If you've ever had that itch to just stand at the very top of Europe, that exact spot where the land just abruptly stops and the endless ocean takes over, well, this is exactly the explainer for you. We're going to break down everything you need to know about navigating this unbelievable Arctic destination. We'll cover the raw nature for sure, but we're also diving into those crucial practical travel tips that'll make your journey totally unforgettable.
There's a saying up here, and I absolutely love it. They come to feel something real. Nordkapp delivers. Seriously, gives you chills, doesn't it? And that right there is the absolute essence of Magerøya. You don't travel all the way up to the far north of Norway for some standard cookie-cutter vacation. No way. You come here to experience this raw, unyielding, and just totally authentic atmosphere. The landscape here, it doesn't compromise. It's the real deal. And honestly, that is exactly why it is so endlessly captivating.
All right, let's dive into Section 1. Welcome to the Arctic.
Now, to ground all that poetic imagery into actual reality, let's look at the hard data for a second. Picture this: 7.7 degrees Celsius, paired with winds whipping at 4.2 meters per second straight in from the west-northwest. That was just a random snapshot of the weather in Honningsvåg on a spring evening. So, the absolute crucial point here is that the Arctic climate really commands your respect. It basically dictates everything here. When you're packing your bags for this trip, your #1 priority has to be concrete, adaptable gear. We're talking windproof outer layers, thermal base layers, and definitely sturdy boots. The weather shifts so rapidly, those winds pull straight off the freezing sea, and your whole experience will be directly tied to how well you prepare for this brisk, very physical reality.
And because of that extreme latitude, time and seasons just operate totally differently up here. The seasons at Nordkapp are quite literally felt in the sky above you. You experience the passage of time through these intense changes in light, dramatic shifts in color, and a landscape that completely transforms itself. Visiting the Cape really means meeting the place exactly as it is in that specific moment. You literally can't force a rigid itinerary. You're completely governed by whatever the sky decides to do.
And this brilliantly illustrates how those shifting seasons can completely rewrite your travel experience. Let's take a look at Magerøya. It's this spectacular, incredibly scenic pearl out on Magerøya. If you happen to arrive in the summer, you are going to find this vibrant landscape just teeming with life, home to these massive, bustling colonies of seabirds. But if you visit that exact same spot in the dead of winter, the birds are gone, the light vanishes, and the whole area transforms into an unparalleled silent theater for witnessing the northern lights. Think about that. It's the exact same coordinates, but two completely different worlds depending on when you show up. Moving right along to Section 2, exploring the fishing villages. So as you travel the winding road up toward the plateau, you are going to come across Magerøya. This is your ultimate picture-perfect stop. Just a beautifully idyllic fishing village. It's also incredibly accessible, which is great. It's a safe, genuinely child-friendly harbor where families can just comfortably wander around and explore this quiet, deeply traditional coastal life right off the main path. It paints just a beautiful picture of what that authentic coastal road trip experience is all about.
Continuing farther north, we hit Skarðsfjall, and its geographical claim to fame is absolutely massive. It is the fishing village that lies closest to Nordkapp itself. Walking around here, you can practically feel the generations of fishermen who've staged their Arctic expeditions right from these exact docks. It's basically the final charming outpost of human settlement before you reach the absolute edge of the continent. It really makes for the perfect staging ground before your final ascent.
Then, tucked away a bit closer to the island's main hub, is Nordvågen. This place is just an incredibly dreamy, atmospheric fishing settlement. It provides this quiet, peaceful contrast to the harsh Arctic extremes you might be facing out on the open plains. Walking through Nordvågen, you just get a really genuine sense of the slow, methodical pace of village life, nestled safely away from the elements.
And about 10 kilometers south of Honningsvåg, just along the road to the Cape, you're going to find Sarnes. It's a small coastal settlement, and it serves as yet another perfect example of that quiet, raw coastal life that's so present all over Magerøya. Actually, stringing these villages together, Sarnes, Nordvågen, Magerøya, and Skarðsfjall, it creates this wonderfully culturally rich and honestly highly efficient route right through the island. It's a fantastic way to guarantee a truly authentic experience.
And then, the road simply ends. You arrive at the Nordkapp Plateau. This is the big one. It's where the Arctic Ocean physically meets the sky. Standing out at this magnificent viewpoint,
right next to that iconic globe monument we all know, it brings on a deeply existential feeling. Just think about it. There is literally nothing but freezing water between you and the North Pole. It is awe-inspiring in the truest, most literal sense of the word.
Let's move to Section 3, Honningsvåg, the island's heart.
Now, after you've actually stood at the edge of the world, Honningsvåg is where you go for all those practical comforts. And luckily, they're all within walking distance of the center. Need a place to sleep? You've got fantastic options. Whether you're looking for a hotel right on the bustling harbor, or maybe a locally run spot nestled in the quiet coastal nature. Need supplies? Well, the shopping here perfectly reflects the character of Nordkapp. You can grab your daily necessities, browse some really unique, locally made coastal crafts, or, hey, if you underestimated that 7-degree wind we talked about earlier, you could easily buy some high-quality outdoor clothes to finally warm up.
But honestly, my absolute favorite parts? The food. The culinary scene in Honningsvåg is entirely dictated by the ocean, those shifting seasons, and the steady rhythm of coastal life. You are going to be eating fresh, traditional seafood harvested straight from the freezing waters right around you. It truly showcases the absolute best of local ingredients. And the best part is, you'll be doing it in these incredibly cozy cafes, excellent restaurants, and really warm, inviting pubs. Because these aren't just places to grab a quick bite. They're highly communal gathering spots. It's where deep local history, wild stories from the local fishermen, and the fast pace of modern coastal life all come together to shape this amazing atmosphere over incredible local food traditions.
Which brings us to our final thought. We've traced the winding roads through idyllic fishing villages, we've felt the chill of that Arctic wind, stood right at the Globe Monument looking out over the endless ocean, and warmed up with local stories and fresh seafood in Honningsvåg. The environment here is pure. The culture is deeply authentic, and the experience is entirely unscripted. So, the only thing left to ask is, are you ready to meet the Arctic exactly as it is in the moment? I really hope this explainer has inspired you to pack your bags and, seriously, your warmest jacket, and experience Nordkapp's reality for yourself.